Hello, and welcome to another video. Today I shall be doing my redemption flight into Queenstown, New Zealand. Now in my last live, or one of my recent lives at least, I flew into Queenstown, and the landing did not go according to plan. I messed that up real good. So today is going to be my redemption for that landing. So we're going to be flying from Sydney to Queenstown today using the very same A330-200 Qantas livery. I believe it's called Kimberley. Yeah, the aircraft is actually called Kimberley. So yeah, that's the one that we're going to be flying today to redeem myself with hopefully a better landing than the one I did before. At least an acceptable landing, that is what I'm looking for. Nonetheless, the flight should be pretty interesting. I also had a glitch. The last time I flew this on live, everything was going wrong. I had a couple of glitches, and one major one as we came into land, 2024 doing its usual shebang. And hopefully this time we'll have a smooth flight experience. Although, in all honesty, being 2024, something has to mess up, right? Okay, so we are at Sydney, which is apparently a handcrafted airport in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But to be honest with you, I'm not very impressed with the airport. But nonetheless, it looks quite okay. It looks like an enhanced default airport, more or less. I don't know if this is what Sydney Airport actually looks like in real life, but I imagine it could be done much better than this. At least the area towards this side is pretty well modeled there, so that's pretty decent there. I also like the runway. That I love the water surrounding the runway. We're going to be taking off right here from 34L today. Anyway, that's enough of rambling outside the aircraft. Let's go ahead and jump into today's flight in this lovely A330-200 by Inibuilds, the one that comes default with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Okay, perfect. Here we are in the cockpit, cold and dark, with external power available to us. Let's go ahead and turn on our battery, shall we? Turn on external power. Crew oxygen supply to on, emergency lights, armed nav lights 1, strobe lights, auto, IRS alignment 2, nav 1, 2, 3. Then we need passenger signs. It can come on right away. I'm gonna leave the fuel pumps the way they are. Ground control on the flight recorder. Voice recorder probably, but anyway, everything else pretty much exactly the way it is, and I'm not going to touch it for the time being. Where are the window heats? Probe window heat, it's already on automatic. I don't really need to do anything else here. Brilliant. Okay, IRS is in alignment, and while all that happens, let's go ahead and get ourselves to the tablet. Let me get our plan from SimBrief. Let's see how that goes. Brilliant. YSSY to NZQN. I don't know, this flight number is wrong, but that doesn't really matter to us today. Okay. Alright, let's go to OFP. There's our OFP. We got an error here. UBDA 4A not found. We'll deal with that when we come into the FMC and all that stuff, not a big deal. Ground services, GPU available. The chocks, engine covers and pitot covers have been removed. The walk around mode. Let's take our SimBrief, take our SimBrief, payload and fuel. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply it for the purpose of calculating and easily setting up our FMC, and then we'll load it more realistically in a second. Panel states takeoff. Okay, let's sync that. Let's calculate that. There we go. We've got everything we need. We'll send it in just a bit. Everything else is looking pretty decent. Let's head on over to our McDo and select our FM1 system. There we go, clear all of that. Let's go to our initialization. Let's request our route. Okay, there we go. We've got our route. Looking good. Cost index 57. Cruise altitude 41,000 feet. Okay, next page. Let's get our zero fuel weight, zero fuel center of gravity, and block fuel in there. Zero fuel weight is 134.5, 25.3, 19.1. 134.5 slash 25.3. Okay. Block fuel is 19.1. 19.1. There we go. That's done. Okay, it'll do all the calculations as it needs to. Let's go back to the init page there. Let's see. Let's go to our flight plan. YSSY. Our departure today is going to be out of runway 34 left here. So let me go ahead and find that. 34 left. And we're going to use... what departure are we using today? Wall 2 is what we're using today. So I'm going to do that. Insert that. Destination NZQN, Queenstown, New Zealand. We're using the RNAV F05. And we're going to be doing that using the arrival UBDA 4A. Okay, hope that's how it's said. Transition today, probably UBDAM if we can find it. There's no UBDAM. Okay, I'm just gonna insert it the way how it is. Great. Taking a quick look here. Oh, no discontinuities whatsoever, which is good. Okay, we've come to our performance page now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our tablet, come here to takeoff, flex temperature 72, 30, all of that stuff. Send to the FMGS, 5.4 up, 72, okay? 72 flex temperature, a 1/5.4 up. I hope that's correct. Yep, there we go. 130, 31, 33. So let's set that in there. 130, 31, and 33. Confirm takeoff data. Next phase. Climb. Okay, that's fine. Not really gonna bother with any of this stuff. Okay, fine. Looking good. Now that this is done, you can actually go ahead and request boarding. As a matter of fact, we can request refueling if we wanted to. So let's go ahead and do that. Shall we try that? Now the way I like to do refueling here is we come to payload. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deliberately set the fuel low. I'm going to set the zero fuel weight a little bit lower. And I'm going to say apply load. Instant. That's going to give us a couple of warnings there. Then I'm going to say sim brief. Get it ready. Okay. There we go. That's a warning. And this will disappear as we load up the aircraft. So it's not a big deal. Great. Now I'm going to go to GSX and request fueling first. Request refueling. Thank you very much. Star Aviation is GSX's choice, but I'm going to go with Qantas here. And once that is done, I'm also going to request boarding. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to wait for the fuel truck, and hopefully the fuel truck does arrive. Apparently it's on its way. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer than I like it to. So let's see what happens in terms of that. I did request the fuel truck first. Ah, there it is. It's coming. Perfect. Perfect. That's brilliant. No pushback right now. So we'll wait for the fuel truck to position itself somewhere here, because I can see that the fuel hatch is right there, so we're gonna leave it here. Okay, brilliant. In the meantime, let's go towards setting up our barometric pressure for the day, which is 1029. That is perfect. We just press B. I have the control from 2020 ported over there. Flight directors on, please. And as you can tell, we've got manage mode available on speed and heading. Our cruising altitude for the day is 41,000 feet. I'm going to head up towards 10,000 first. And as you can tell, we've got manage mode on altitude as well. VNAV is available, LNAV is available, and so is speed. Auto throttle, basically. VNAV, in effect. So, everything is looking good here. Nothing to concern ourselves about. Looking good. Okay, there we go. I assume that passengers have begun boarding. This is dangerous to leave a door open like this, but not going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to leave it open. I'm assuming that passengers have started boarding. Yes, they have. So technically, we need to turn on our APU now, so we can have some packs going. Need to turn on some APU bleed so we can have some packs going, but we'll do that. Turn on the APU there. Brilliant. We probably won't need our external power once APU is connected, but nonetheless, wait for the gentleman here to connect up the fuel. Okay, so we're just gonna watch and let that happen. There we go, lovely animations by GSX. So I love GSX, but at the same time, sometimes it can be very frustrating, particularly in 2024. I've been having issues using the 777 PMDG with GSX. Plenty of issues, but anyway, let's focus on what's working, shall we? There you go, he's connected up the fuel hoses, the fuel pipes. So we can go here to the tablet now, and we can say apply the load fast. Okay, and as you can tell, fuel and payload are going to get loaded rather accelerated way, but it also means fueling is actually taking place here. So if you come here, you can see that our aircraft is refueling, which is exactly what we want to see. Brilliant. All that is working exactly the way it should. APU bleed on, please, so we can have our packs running. Pack 1 is running. Brilliant. Pack 2 there. The fault lights have disappeared, which is excellent. Great. Now, basically all we got to do is wait for refueling to finish up, wait for boarding process to finish up. If we look at the other side, good lord. I mean, it's decent today. It's not too bad. The performance I'm talking about. The cargo pellets are being loaded up here, as you can tell. Looks pretty good. So we got to wait for all of this to finish up now. So let's do that. Let's allow some time for all of these services to finish up, and then we shall go ahead and clean up for pushback and departure pretty much. All right. Refueling is done, and we've got disconnection in progress right now, as you can tell. Some lovely animations going on there as the fuel truck pulls out. So we'll let that happen. We'll wait for all the services to finish up, and then we'll come back in here and get ourselves pushed back for engine start. Okay, cargo loading has finished up, and I believe we're almost done with the passenger boarding as well here. There we go. Cargo door closing up. Real nice animations on the handles and latches on the cargo door there as well. Anyway, we can actually go to GSX, request pushback in advance here, prepare for pushback and departure. As you can tell, we're almost there. So as soon as passenger boarding is complete, the pushback tug will attach itself and we'll be out of here. Now, while we wait for that, just have a quick look at today's route using little Navmap here. There we go. We are in Sydney, Kingsford Smith. Is that the name? Yep, Kingsford Smith International. And we're going to push back here, get our nose to the left, and then we're going to taxi on towards runway 34 left to take off, perform some sort of a U-turn here over Wollongong. And yeah, when we're going to head on towards Optic Waypoint and then cross the Tasman Sea right there, and come on into Queenstown in New Zealand with that very, very iconic and difficult approach, very nice approach, RNAV approach into runway 05 in Queenstown. Yep, there we go. That's our route for today. Just a quick overview, and as you can tell, the jetway has disconnected, and we are getting ready for pushback here. There we go, jetway is disconnected completely. The marshals have gone out, and we're getting ready for pushback here, which is brilliant. Lovely. Lovely, lovely stuff. Okay. What do I need to do in terms of getting ready for this? Maybe turn the pumps on, so let's do that. Turning fuel pumps on here. Brilliant. Anything else we need to do? Not really. We do need to turn on our beacon lights. I'll do that once we start moving with our pushback. Nose wheel steering disconnected. Okay, that's fine. Great. Okay, I think we're pretty much yeah, we're just waiting for GSX now. There we go. Nose to the left, please. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and release that parking brake. There we go. Once we start moving, we can go ahead and get our beacon lights going. And there we go. Being pushed back, ladies and gentlemen. Just like that. Very, very nice. Vietnam Airlines A350 once again. Okay, let's head back into the cockpit there. Beacon lights on, please. Everything else here looks ready for engine start, and they are. So let's go ahead and get ignition to start. Engine, we'll do engine number 1. Is today a cool day? I don't think it is it? Is it a cool day today? Because if it is, then we can just, you know what? We'll just start them one by one. So here we go. Okay, engine number 2 coming alive. Engine number 2 coming alive. Brilliant. Look at that. Lovely. Let's get ourselves back into the cockpit here. And oh, we're in reverse thrust here. Good Lord, I don't understand why it does that. Oh, I've got some issues here. Anyway, putting on parking brake. Got issues with the control all of a sudden. Yeah, we have some issues with the control, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and start up engine number 1. We'll sort out the issues with the throttle control. I thought I had this figured out, but apparently there's something wrong with the way I have mapped my throttles there. That's okay. We'll figure that out. In just a bit. Look at that. Very nice. Jetstar and Qantas that we can see. Okay. All right. Great. What else do we need to do here? We need to drop our flaps, so we'll just wait for the hand signal there from the lady there. We need to get our hand signal. Once we do, we'll set up the throttles. Before we start taxiing, I need to set up the throttles, make sure it's working well. For some reason that wasn't done, but nonetheless, where's she gone? Hello? Well, she's somewhere here, so she gave us a hand signal. Okay, let's go ahead and drop our flaps to our takeoff position. Lovely. Head back into the cockpit here. Set auto brake to max. Set our ground spoilers to armed. And predictive wind shear can come to automatic. System 1, that can go on. There we go. TCAS is still off, isn't it? Yeah, it is off. TCAS is still off. Let's put that to on. And I'll leave it on standby for the time being. Altitude reporting is on. There we go. I'll leave it there like this, and then we'll change it to TA in just a bit. Oh, ignition. We need to turn that back to normal. There we go. Now let me just set up my throttle settings here, and then we can get on our way for taxiing. Okay, I've done what I can with the throttles, and as usual, something has to go wrong in 2024, right? So I can't really calibrate my throttles for some reason. So we're going to work with what we have here. I'm going to leave it exactly the way it is. Nose light to taxi there. Anything else we need to do here? Nav light there. APU can actually go off now. There we go. Brilliant. Anything else we need to do? Not really. We're ready for taxi, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and release that parking brake. Releasing parking brake right there. And we are rolling. There we go. We are rolling. So we're gonna try and attempt this flight with a little bit of messed up throttle calibration. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but let's see. For some reason, it has decided that it's not gonna let me calibrate my throttle for some reason. Well, it's 2024 for yeah, something has to go wrong. Anyway, there we go. Taxiing on our way. Oh, good lord, I need to know where I'm going in terms of taxi, don't I? So, just gonna look at little Navmap to guide me, really. So yeah, we need to turn to our left here. Well, basically we're just going towards the end right there. We just need to follow this line of aircrafts pretty much. So I guess that's what I'll do. We're just gonna follow this aircraft pretty much. That's gonna take us directly towards where we want to go. All right. So the taxi is pretty long. I guess I shall catch you guys as we line up towards the end of the runway here. Let me just give it a bit more of... Oh god, look at this thing. It's so hard to have a fine control on the throttle with the settings that I'm flying with at the moment. Look at it. It's impossible. But nonetheless, gotta do what we can. Gotta do what we can. Alright, I shall catch you guys as we hold short of runway 34 left, and then we'll take it from there. Alrighty, we're more or less holding short of runway 34 left here. Just gonna go ahead, turn on my landing lights there, nose light to take off. I'm going to put strobe lights to on there, and I'm going to come here to TCAS. I'm gonna leave it on TA only. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me do TA. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave TA only there probably. Yeah, okay. So we are pretty much ready for takeoff, and Yeah, let's go ahead and get out of here, shall we? Release parking brake there. Crack open the throttle. Alright. Good. Let's see if we have anybody on the runway, more or less. Don't see anybody. I don't see anybody. Oh, there is someone on the runway right now. Great. Should probably hold short for that 737 to get out of there. There's also somebody crossing the runway as well. So much stuff going on, but we're gonna go ahead and line up. This is just FSLTL traffic that I'm using, so no issues here. No real issues. Okay. There we go. Let's go ahead and turn in our aircraft. There we go. I don't have fine control of the throttle, so means I'm gonna have to eyeball this thing. I don't have the control of the throttles that I would like, but anyway. It's gonna line up slowly and nicely here with the runway, more or less. Okay, let's go for takeoff, shall we? There we go. Okay, rotating here. Gear up. Flaps up. There we go. Okay, gonna fly a little wide off here. Give it off to the autopilot. Let's go ahead and take a look at Sydney, as we leave it behind, more or less. There we go. Not looking terrible here. Out we go, ladies and gentlemen. Not looking terrible. Okay, ground spoilers disarmed. Takeoff wasn't the best in the world, but it'll do. Climb out to 10,000 feet first, so we're looking okay. $2024. I've got that glitch again where I can't control the external view with my mouse. Brilliant. But anyway. There we go, leaving behind Sydney, ladies and gentlemen, looking good. Not the worst, not the worst. Not the worst. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what the transition altitude was, I didn't have a look, but yeah. We need to change our transition altitude. We also need to first climb out to 10,000 feet, right? Our cruising altitude is 41,000. So once we reach 10, we're pretty much going to let the aircraft climb out straight to 41,000. So yeah, we're just gonna let that happen. We're just gonna let that happen. Okay, Let's take a look from the passenger point of view. Entering some clouds here at the moment. There's that flickering that seems to happen all the time now. Oh, good lord. Oh, that looks lovely though. That looks real nice. Oh yeah, that's a good looking scene right there. Look at that. Okay. Very, very nice. Beautiful. 8,500. Looking good. Okay, altitude coming up. We need to, let's just go ahead and climb this out, shall we? To 41,000 feet. Allow it to climb straight out now. Especially since we're not using ATC, there's no need to stop here. We can turn off landing lights, nose light can come off there, and so can the passenger sign, seatbelts off, and no smoking to automatic. Strobe lights on, beacon lights on, nav lights on, everything else is pretty much off there. That's all looking good. 10,000 feet crossed, and our transition altitude. There we go, standard on that, and standard on this. And we are out, ladies and gentlemen. We are out of here. Look at that. Okay, let's take a look at this lovely view as we leave behind Sydney. As we leave behind Australia, head on over the Tasman Sea into Queenstown. There we go, look at that. We are looking good. Not too terrible is the way I'd put it. Not too terrible. There we go. Doesn't look too terrible, does it? We can see the airport off towards the distance. Right here. There's the airport. There's the runway we took off from. Runway 34 left right there. Okay, and we literally took a U-turn and we are heading on out of here towards Queenstown. Good. Very, very good. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so there isn't much for us to do now except allow our aircraft to climb on out to its cruising altitude. And I'm gonna join you pretty much, if nothing else happens during our flight, I'm gonna join you pretty much before top of descent. So I'll leave you guys to enjoy a few views along the way, and then I shall join you at top of descent. All right. All right, we are near our top of descent here. So yeah, we're nearing top of descent right there. If we reduce our range, we've got 10 nautical miles to top of descent. Let's go ahead and descend down towards 10,000 feet first. As a matter of fact, not even 10,000 feet. Let's have a look. Let us have a look. What are we looking at? 4120 up. But we need to be at 4,000 feet basically. If I remember this correctly. Gotta be really careful here. So yeah, I'm gonna go directly down towards 4,000 feet. So let's do that right now. Okay. And we're ready to descend here. Pretty much. Let's go in here. There we go. I'm going to set up Q and H. QNH. So let's have a look at the QNH into Queenstown right now. It is 1:10:08. Okay, that is a QNH right there. Top of descent reached. There we go. And there we go. Descent has begun. There is an altitude restriction, 15,000, which shall be automatically taken care of. There we go. Full approach 126, landing speed 121. So 26, 21, 15,000 feet cruising altitude. Wind today is 160-10. 160-10. Yeah, that's okay. Estimated fuel on board is below minimum. That's fine. That is fine. 5 degrees Celsius. There we go. So 130, 125. Okay. 130, 125. That is fine. That is fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our descent now. We have begun our descent, more or less. There we go. Descent has begun. Perfect. Very good. Okay. So we got nothing else to do once again. Because the descent has begun, it's pretty much on VNav now. We don't need to worry about it. We don't need to worry about it at all. We do not need to worry about it at all. So yeah. I don't know what is going on today with... Look at this. I'm having so many issues. Just issues after issues, man. Look at this thing. What? What is wrong with you, man? Why can't you just be normal? Why can't this thing just be normal? Look at it. Welcome to 2024. I don't know what it is, man, but something ain't right with this thing. Something ain't right with it. That's all I know. Anyway. Yeah, so we don't have much to do here. Everything is looking quite good. VNav is taking care of... I call it VNav, but it's taking care of what needs to be taken care of. Autopilot is working well, descending down towards 4,000 feet. So yeah, we don't have much to do now till we reach around 10,000 feet. So I'm gonna let this continue our descent here, and then I shall join you once we are closer towards 10,000 feet. And yeah. So I'll just take a look at a few more views, and then I shall join you once we are closer towards 10,000 feet. Good. Alrighty. We are coming up on 10,000 feet really soon right there. Queenstown looks quite daunting to approach into. We just got out of a bunch of clouds there. So it's gonna be interesting, to say the least, about how we're gonna make this particular landing. Let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights. I'm going to leave the turn off lights and nose lights for later on. But yeah, we need to turn on our passenger signs as well. Let's do that right away. Looking good, looking good. 9,900 feet, and we are descending. Okay, I am pretty anti-ice. Okay, we need some. We need some of that. Engine anti-ice on, please. Do we need wing as well? You know what, I'm gonna leave the wing Anti-ice on as well. Got some icing conditions detected there. Oh, why is this open up? The alternate landing gear, gravity extension stuff. The hatch was open for that. I don't know why. Anyway, I was messing around with it, so I guess I left it open. Okay, RNAV approach here with this kind of cloud cover. Hopefully we're gonna dip beneath it, and hopefully that's gonna clear up some visibility for us. There we go, the quite dangerous peaks off to our left there. And to our right, looking lovely. Queenstown is such a beautiful place. I mean, the whole of New Zealand, honestly. In Flight Sim 2020 and 2024, 2020 more if I'm being honest, New Zealand is the place to fly. It is absolutely beautiful. Some of my favorite airstrips are in New Zealand. So yeah, like Milford Sound, Quinton Lodge. It's amazing. They've got some really beautiful airstrips, handcrafted. Not just that, they've got really lovely approaches into airports like the one we're flying right now, which is pretty daunting if you ask me. Okay, we need to we're supposed to head down towards 4,000 feet. I kind of want to be a little lower if I'm being honest. So I want to be 500 feet lower, because the last time I flew this on the live stream, I was too high. By the time I reached 4,000 feet, I was a little too high, so I'm not entirely sure. We do have a couple of altitude restrictions. Luckily for us, they're being taken care of. We need to drop the flaps right away. So let's begin doing that. Oh, sorry, my bad. That would have given us an overspeed right there, but we're dropping our flaps, waiting for some more speed to bleed off before we drop further. But yeah, we probably, you know what, I'm gonna give it a little bit of speed brake there, just so we can descend a little quicker. Get those flaps dropped. There we go, flaps are dropping slowly. Let me get back into the cockpit because I do not want to mess this up. I do not want to mess this up. No, sir. Okay. Okay, there we go. What else do we need? Need to leave the speed brake armed for landing, obviously. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on runway turn off lights. Nose light, I'm gonna put it on taxi in advance here. Wing lights, I could leave them on, especially because of the cloud cover, but for the time being I'm gonna leave them off. Okay, we got altitude restriction right there. That is rough. Okay, I'm gonna ask for a more steeper descent here. Ask for a slightly steeper descent. I'm going to increase that, get those flaps down again. Look at that, good lord. It is not looking good. It is genuinely not looking good. We are too high. We are too high. 7.5 nautical miles out, we're too high. Okay, flaps full please. Let's drop the gear. Take a look at that from outside quickly as we drop. Looking good, come on. Come on. Oh, that looks really good, doesn't it? A really nice view right there, but we need to get on top of this really quickly, and I have no visual of the runway. Good lord, this one is not looking good. This one is not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. It is not looking good for us. It is not looking good for us. We got some rain there as well. Oh, great. Do we have flaps full? Yes, we do. Okay. Yeah, I need to descend really quickly here, so I'm gonna leave my speed brake pretty much out at this point. Ground spoilers armed. Okay, come on, we need to descend here. Come on, we're too high and I have no visual of the runway. This is where you would normally perform a go around. a little bit more into the flight, and if you don't have visuals, you seriously should perform a go around. But you know, being a flight noob, I'm gonna try and make this landing. We are going down steep, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. We're not gonna make this, so I'm gonna take manual control here. Autopilot disengaged. It will let me do that. Okay, there we go. My aircraft. Okay. My aircraft. Ground spoilers armed. There we go. My aircraft. I have the poppy lights in sight. We are coming in too high, as you can tell. Way too high. Look at this. This is the problem with this thing. We need our speed brakes out. We're gonna try our best to do this, but looks like we're gonna have to float this in. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to float this. Let's see if we can make this. This is looking dangerous. We should do a go around. But oh, good lord. Good lord. Yeah, we can't land this one. We cannot land this time. Let's get on out of here. Flaps up. Okay, I need to get on out of here. Okay, that is my very first time trying to perform a go around in an Airbus, so I had no idea what I was doing. But here we go. Managed to set this up. We need to perform a go around now, because we had no visual right there. I knew that was too high. Coming in at 4,000 feet, it is too high to get that runway. I should have trusted myself and put down that altitude. But I did not want to face plant into a mountain, so. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Okay, going around. Let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. We need to go around. Is auto throttle working? I don't see it working. There we go. I don't see it working. Good lord, what is happening? What is happening? Okay, I'm gonna take manual control here. So, autopilot, disconnect. My aircraft. Why won't my speed drop? I don't understand. Why won't my speed drop? Is my speed frozen? It is, isn't it? My speed is frozen. Yeah, my speed's frozen. There you go. My speed is stuck. There's nothing I can do here. My speed is definitely stuck, and there is nothing I can do here. From what I'm looking at, there's literally nothing I can do. Sorry about this once again, guys, but my speed is back to life now? Is it back to life? Yeah, it is back to life, but okay, it's back to life. My speed's back to life. Yep, speed's back to life. Coming into land, I've got control. I have got control. Ah, finally. There we go. I think this might be the dumbest thing I've ever done. This might be just the dumbest thing I've ever done. Okay. Alright. At least I've got full control of the thing now, so that's great. But this is about the stupidest thing I've ever done. Okay, coming in. Coming in. That's looking good. That's looking good. Looking good. All right, a little bit high there. Let's turn ourselves in. Okay, I'm gonna cut the throttle there. Cutting the throttle. Cutting the throttle fully. I don't want to turn too steeply because might have a little bit of an issue on our hands if I do, but we're sliding off there. Okay, this crosswind, although not very strong, is okay. I need to focus. Let's see. Okay. Oh, this is turbulent. Good lord.
200. 100.
Oh.
40. 30. 20. 10.
Okay. Reverse thrust. Okay. Auto brake off. Got that same issue with reverse thrust again. Good lord. Okay, whatever. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Queenstown. The throttle issues that I was talking about really played a role there. But nonetheless, we got landing replay available to us, so we're going to take a look at that. Okay, that is one way to approach an airport. Very, very wobbly. Let's see how it goes. Right, not the worst in the world there. Not the worst in the world, and yeah. That is good. And reverse thrust does not show on replay, just note there. But there we go. That wasn't too terrible. Let's have a look at a couple more views of the replay. Very hairy landing here. But very, very beautiful. Let's see. Okay. Definitely firm there, but I'm not complaining too much. I am not complaining too much. Let's go have a look at the replay from the other side. See how that turned out. Okay, once again firm landing, but I think I'll take it. I think I'll take it. Get the APU running over here. Got landing lights can come off. One-way turn off lights, I'm going to turn them off. Nose light to taxi. Wing lights can come off, more or less. There we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. We've parked our aircraft quite close to the terminal there. I don't think it's supposed to. It's definitely a parking spot way too small for the A330. But nonetheless, welcome to Queenstown. Okay, welcome to Queenstown. Let's go ahead and shut down our aircraft. So we can turn off our brake fans. We're so close to the terminal there. Turn off our lights, strobe lights, nav lights right there. We can shut down our engines. Just like that. Go ahead and turn off some stuff here. What else can we do? Anti-ice is off. That's great. Passenger signs can come off. Brilliant. We can turn that off. We can turn off the standby pumps, and then the rest of the fuel pumps right there can come off. What else can we do? We can turn on the APU bleed as the passengers deboard if we want to do that. There we go. Strobe lights can come to off. Beacon lights off. Nav lights can remain where they are. Great. All right. Flaps, speed brakes all down. Parking brake done. Great. Let's now see if we can ask GSX to deboard our aircraft. Okay. Requesting deboarding there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's flight. We've got our passengers deboarding right there, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel. That was a very stressful flight, and yeah, I'm gonna need to go cool off after that one. But not as bad as it could have gone. There we go, beautiful Queenstown in New Zealand. Okay. With that, I shall conclude this video right here, and I shall catch you in the next one. See ya.